Hey, welcome to Night Combos.
Welcome back. Hubby's here.
Hey, hubby.
Hey, lovey.
Aw, hey, y'all. Okay, so Gypsy apparently can't afford formula for baby Aurora, which, why is she still only on formula that we know of? And also, didn't she say that Aurora couldn't have screen time until the age of 16, right?
Right.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about all of this, look at a few clips, also go over some comments that Gypsy's been leaving for people in their comment sections, and go over all of that and talk about it. But real quick, before we jump into that,
we want to say thank you to Jenny Arthur for the super thanks.
Yes. Thank you so much. We received a super thanks a couple days ago from Jenny Arthur. And just for people who may not know, we don't always give a shout out if people ask us not to give a shout out or not to say their name. We won't. Because we understand that some people don't want their name said or their screen name said, so we won't say it unless you tell us that you want your screen name said. And we understand that some people do want a shout out, and we would love to do that. We love to let y'all know how appreciative we are. So just as a reminder, because we haven't reminded people in a while, if you do send us a super thanks or a Cash App or PayPal or anything, let us know if you want a shout out, because we are happy to give y'all one. But yes, thank you so much for the super thanks. It truly, truly helps us and the channel so, so much. So thank you so much for that. And also, we are so happy because we finally reached our short-term goal of 4,500 subscribers and even went over that. So hopefully we'll be reaching 5,000 soon, we hope. But thank you so much to all of our subscribers.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you so much to all of our new subscribers, and welcome. We truly love and appreciate every single one of you. We are so grateful that every single one of you are a part of our family and channel here on YouTube. We truly are. And if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos, all of the things, and we would greatly appreciate it so very much. And also, please leave your thoughts and opinions about everything we're about to talk about in this video in the comment section down below, and we'll be conversating with y'all like always. But again, thank you so, so much. We are so excited and so grateful that we have new subscribers and our little family here on YouTube is continuing to grow. So just wanted to put that in there again. Thank you so, so much to all of our new subscribers and to all of our subscribers that's been with us from the very beginning. Y'all mean so much to us. Okay, so just as a little reminder, let's look at this video clip right here about Ken and Gypsy talking about screen time. And by the way, hubby downloaded this and we got the clip from what hubby downloaded so that Gypsy and Ken didn't get the view on their channel or anything like that.
What's your opinion on screen time limits?
Okay, well obviously this is going to be for when she's older.
It's for later. It's going to be for later. But we've talked about this.
Yeah. I mean, screen time, I don't like a lot of screen time.
Okay. Alright.
You had something to add to that.
I do.
Ken does have something to add to that. He knows that you love screen time. You stay on your screen all the time, 24/7, Gypsy. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt the video.
I just don't like a lot of screen time.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, there's
right.
one specific thing that comes to my mind. That's the conversation we had about iPads in the future, where you say you don't want her to have an iPad at all.
Well, okay, let me be specific. Okay.
Okay.
As a toddler, no.
Okay.
As a preteen, no. As a 16, yes. If she shows us that she is responsible and safe, she can have an iPad.
Okay. I'm just thinking, I don't know, like, I'm trying to be, I don't know how this sounds, but, like, realistic about it. Like, when I was a kid growing up, you know, I'm 32, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 13, and that was a flip phone back then. Like, you know, like...
Good old Nokias.
Like, you were cool if you had a Motorola Razr. And I didn't get one of those, but I eventually did later on. But nowadays, I feel like I've seen, like, 10-year-old kids with iPhones. You know, I've seen even younger kids with iPhones. And I also see, like, really young kids, like, I don't know, I can't tell their age, but, like, that have iPads. And I feel like we're going to get, like, we say that, you know, yeah, we're not going to let her have all these screens, and, you know, it's going to be harmful and that, but I feel like when we have a screaming 4-year-old, you know, day after day after day, and, like, the only way to pacify them is to, like, give them an iPad with Cocomelon on it. Like, I'm probably going to cave at that, you know?
I had dolls. I had baby dolls, and when I got older, I had, you know, Barbie dolls. Like, I had toys growing up.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was pacified by that. But, like, I was also, like, I was a good baby. I was a good child. And my mom would always give me, like, the look if I wasn't. Like, that stern look. So, I just knew not to, like, act up or anything. I was pacified with my stuffed animal. So.
I got you. Getting her something like that just to make her happy, you know? So we'll deliberate when the time comes.
So if you weren't good and you were acting up, Gypsy, you weren't abused. Your mom would just give you a look and you would know to stop doing whatever you were doing. Okay, glad you admitted that. Thanks. We've all known that for the longest time now. Also, when you were older and you were pacified and satisfied with your Barbie dolls that you got once you were older, you know, the ones you say that you weren't allowed to have and then went back on it and said, well, I could have them once I was older. Yeah. Remember when one of your wishes was to have a computer, you wanted your own laptop, and you got it? We've even shown that very laptop in the crime scene photos before on this channel. So you had a laptop and a cell phone. Matter of fact, you even admitted yourself in your book that you could go up to your mom and ask for one of what you say she had 4 cell phones, and you could ask for one of them and she would just hand it to you. That doesn't sound like someone that's trying to keep you from making phone calls or texts or getting help if you was to need it. But y'all heard her say, as far as screen time, as a toddler, no. As a preteen, no. And then instead of saying as a teen, she says as a 16. That's called a teen, a teenager, Gypsy, not a 16. But anyway, you say that you won't allow Aurora to have screen time until she's 16. The age of 16, Gypsy, really? If they were even able to stick to that, by the time Aurora sees her first screen, her classmates would be coding apps.
If she don't run away by then.
Well, that's very true and very possible. And speaking of coding, that is something you could do for money for formula, Gypsy, which we're about to get into in just a second. But we all know kids use tablets in schools every day, Gypsy. She is so ridiculous. You're not going to be able to hide the fact that you unalived your own mother Aurora's grandmother, and especially not until she's 16. She will know before she's 16 what you did, and she will know way more than just the narrative you want her to know. What do y'all think, though? But Gypsy, you absolutely could literally take online courses, meaning you wouldn't have to get off your lazy bum and get off the couch, and you could do it at home, take online courses at home, and become a medical billing coder. You could absolutely do that. And guess what? You could do it from anywhere. And you could work from anywhere, including working at home, since you say the only thing that you can do with a 7-month-old as a stay-at-home mom, a quote stay-at-home mom, is paint, or not even paint, but do this blow dryer art. And when you do have to talk to medical professionals or insurance agencies, guess what? You don't even have to talk to them on the phone or face to face. You can talk to them through email. So that's something you could do to earn an actual living. Oh, but that wouldn't allow you to be completely lazy, would it? But again, let us know y'all's thoughts. So some of y'all may have seen this comment right here, and it was posted by Bev, B-E-V, Bev, on TikTok, where Gypsy was literally trolling her comment section. And this was one of the comments that Gypsy left, and Bev was replying to it. But Gypsy wrote, "I am private. Other than my art, y'all have no clue what's going on in my life, and I love it," with a big smiley face. Well, Miss Ma'am, that's not actually true, is it? Because you and your mouthpieces and brainless cult minions all tell us everything that's going on in your life, like your other comment we're fixing to look at. Because you seriously can't help it. Just like we were talking about with Toddy, Becca Scoops, and 1980 Millennial on Toddy One Skip's page the other day doing a live. You literally have to constantly be on social media. That's why none of us can understand how baby Aurora gets taken care of. Let's take a look at this clip of Bev responding to Gypsy Rose Blanchard's comment on TikTok.
The problem is the art is not good, so it just makes it look like another scam. And here you are just scrolling through videos about yourself, which I guess I kind of can't blame you. There's so many. But it's the fact you came back with the art. Like, that just makes you look desperate for money. The problem is the art is not good, so it just makes it look like another scam.
Okay, so let's look at the comment that Gypsy left on this video and talk about it for a minute. And it's not there now anymore. It was there earlier today, and when we went back to look, it was completely gone. But Gypsy was responding to Straight Out of Context in her comment here. And Straight Out of Context did a great video on her YouTube channel explaining art, because she studied art. And she did TikTok for 3 years talking about just art before she became a full-time content creator. And she was explaining how different art supplies, especially paints, different paints, cost different amounts of money. And Straight Out of Context was saying, letting Gypsy know and saying, you know, this is a hobby type thing that you could do with your kids or something like that. Nothing wrong with it, but it's more of like a hobby that you could do. And Straight Out of Context was telling people how they could spend just a little bit of money and make 5 or 6 of these same exact type of paintings, if you want to call it that, or pieces of art, whatever, that Gypsy is trying to sell for $120+ for the big ones anyway. The smaller ones she's selling for less, and we're fixing to see why. But Straight Out of Context was explaining when you are doing art that you want to sell and make money from and make a name for yourself doing art, it takes expensive types of paint and different types of canvases that are very expensive. Some tubes of paint are several $100s. Some of them can go into the thousands just for a tube of paint. Y'all should go and check out that video on Straight Out of Context channel on YouTube. She explains it very well. But as I was saying, Straight Out of Context was just letting people know, look, you can spend the same amount of money that Gypsy spends, which is really only about 20. I'm sorry about that, y'all. That little pop-up that just happened, that was really odd and weird. Anyway, as I was saying, Straight Out of Context was letting people know that you could spend about $20 like Gypsy really, spends on the art supplies she uses to do these blow dryer, canvases, art pieces. I don't really feel comfortable calling them art pieces because I don't want to insult real artists. But y'all get what I'm saying. And they could have their own art pieces at home instead of buying these overpriced things that Gypsy makes, or they could even sell their own. But Gypsy wrote back, I spent about $500 at the supply store to be able to do this. These people aren't getting some Dollar General brand. Well, Gypsy, nobody said Dollar General brand exactly. They were just saying dollar store brand. But thanks for letting us know the truth that you're going to the store called Dollar General to get your supplies. Then she says, this is Liquitex brand with premium canvases. Her saying that this is Liquitex brand with premium canvases says a lot, because as Straight Out of Context can explain it way better. But the Liquitex brand you can get at any hobby store for just a few dollars. So Gypsy told on herself again in the second sentence. She says, shipping boxes, tape, I cover the shipping cost. Gypsy, you say you're selling these pieces, so that would cover the shipping cost, especially for the amount you're selling them for. Then she says, so yes, it is expensive. Okay, Gypsy, y'all just keep that in mind. Hold on. Okay, so I had to jump over here to show y'all this real quick. Look, this is from Hobby Lobby. You can see Hobby Lobby at the top. This is from a Hobby Lobby store for hobbies. Liquitex. Liquitex brand acrylics, because Gypsy says she uses acrylic paint to do this with. $5.99 for a big tube of the Liquitex paint. And for those people wondering, it's not just for this color. It's like they have a multitude of colors. But the Liquitex brand is around $5.99 at Hobby Lobby. You can get sets of it for like $15 at Walmart. So no, it is not expensive, Gypsy. Then Gypsy continues on to say, if they want custom color, that's more that comes out of my pocket to be able to meet their requests. So yes, it's fair price for the money that I put in. I took a picture of my receipt from the store and asked what should I charge per size, per painting, and that was the suggestion. And not all artists go to school for it. I can walk down the French Quarter right now and ask the small vendors, hey, do you have a degree in art? And they would probably say no. Keyword there, Gypsy, probably. But that's actually how a lot of people who do go to art school start out selling their paintings when they want to sell them. They start on the streets they buy like booths and go to vendors and things like that to try to sell their art pieces. And yeah, they have a degree. And then right here, y'all, she says, this is what I can do as a stay-at-home mom with a 7-month-old. I charge $60 for the small ones because that's how much a can of formula to feed my child is. Do you have kids? How do you feed them if you do? Trolling another mother on the internet? Oh, okay, because that is more respectable than making a dime not causing grief to someone. Get a hobby, and if it makes you money, then hey, it's a come up. Well, at least you admitted it's a hobby, Gypsy. Then she says, at least by me making paintings, I'm not harming someone's mental health. Have a good day. Gypsy, you have harmed people's mental health, and so have your little mouthpieces and brainless cult minions so many times. Y'all continue to do it over and over again. But y'all see right here, Gypsy herself wrote she is selling the small ones for $60 because that's how much a can of formula for her child is. But right before that, she said she was selling it for that price because she took a picture of the receipt and asked. We spoke about this a little bit on the live we did on Toddy One Skip's page with Becca Scoops and 1980 Millennial, and it's odd that a 7.5-month-old, almost an 8-month-old, y'all remember that, baby Aurora is almost 8 months old, is not eating any types of solids or solid foods, solid baby foods at all. Gypsy, you sound like you out here trying to hustle to buy formula. Stop it. Because real moms are out here busting their butts every day, working real-life jobs, sometimes multiple jobs, to make sure their child's needs are met. So don't go getting all cocky towards someone about their parenting when you have blasted your poor parenting all over the freaking internet. You, girly pop, can get a real-life job. Go work at a warehouse where you won't be in the public eye. Take some courses, like I was saying earlier, and do medical coding where you can earn a living and work from home. You can also actually go to your local social services office, which we all know you're familiar with, and they will help you. They won't take your child simply because you go in there and say, I need help feeding my child and buying formula and baby food, which, again, you should be buying. You should be buying baby food, baby cereals, those types of things. Aurora is almost 8 months old, meaning she's almost a year old, and she's still on just formula? What do y'all think? Matter of fact, a social worker will even help you fill out the application for food stamps or SNAP and WIC, which, yes, both programs are offered in the state of Louisiana where you live, so you can't claim it's not. Now, you might make too much money to qualify for these programs, but then that goes back to the question, why are you out here hustling, or not hustling, why are you out here acting like you're hustling to feed your child, to get food for your child? Why didn't you put that $500 you claim to have spent towards formula instead of using it to buy art supplies that you claim that you use to buy art supplies? Why didn't you put that toward formula instead of art supplies? If you have to sell a painting to buy a can of formula. Art supplies, from what we've been told, you don't even know how to use. Especially if you're having trouble buying formula for your child. It's because this is a hobby for you. You don't know what it's like to have to hustle to get food for your child or things that your child needs. You have no clue about any of that or about having to work a real life job in the real world. Which, Gypsy, hey, don't come after me, but jars of baby food is cheaper than formula for the most part. Y'all, I'm just saying, and I'm sure all of you listening are smart enough to understand what I mean. You contradicted yourself in the same breath by saying, oh, I'm selling these, quote, art for pieces for the prices that I do because when I asked about prices, when I spent $500 on art supplies instead of formula, that's what they suggested for me to charge. Then you turn around and say you're selling it for that price because that's how much the baby formula you use is. So, Gypsy, hey Gypsy, girly pop, which is it? Dang, you can't come up with one straight answer to save your life. She is so ridiculous. Do y'all not agree? I mean, even having her mouthpieces speak up for her, and then her trying to hide in comments or think that she's hiding or incognito probably in people's comments, leaving these crazy comments contradicting herself left, right, and center, and having them, including Ken and Christy, take up for her just for her to turn around and say that she doesn't care about her supporters and Ken and Christy don't know horse shoot about her life to be able to speak on it. Yeah. Gypsy, you're pathetic. What do y'all think about the formula situation and baby Aurora not being on solids at almost 8 months old? And what are y'all's thoughts on this tablet screen time situation? Do y'all really believe that Gypsy is having to sell art because she can't afford formula? Because that's what she made it sound like. We all know her lifetime money has run out. We've seen in Ken's lives the boxes, the empty boxes in the background, like they were getting ready to pack things up. I don't know if it was packing things up to sell for money or if it was because they were having to move out of that house that they paid $2,200 a month for, which is very expensive in the area that they live in. For that, they could have a really nice house for that price and just pay a mortgage and actually own their own home. We've shown y'all all of that in previous videos though. So what are y'all's thoughts and opinions on all of this? Let us know in the comment section down below. We'll be conversating with y'all like always, and we would greatly appreciate it so much. Again, thank you so much to all of our subscribers that's been with us from the very beginning all the way to now. And thank you so very much to all of our new subscribers. We truly appreciate all of you. Welcome to our new subscribers. We are so grateful to have you. And if you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos, all of the things, and we would truly appreciate it so very much. We hope y'all enjoyed this video though. Sorry about that little pop-up thing midway through. That was weird. I apologize for that happening. Don't know how that happened. But we still hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we'll see y'all in the next one. And we hope y'all have a good night, and God bless.
Have a good night, and God bless.
Bye.
Bye.